Welcome back, guys, to another one. The markets are still bloody red. There is still massive selling going on. The question is not how low do we go, but how do you protect yourself against this bloody markets, and when is the best time to start taking action again? Today, the big narrative is sit and wait and watch. But more importantly, we're going to talk about strategy, and that's something that you guys need to understand moving forward on how to make the most out of this upcoming bull market. So without further ado, guys, let's get into this. And also, before we start the show, I just want to talk to you guys about one thing. On Friday, I will be doing an altcoin show with Sheldon, the sniper. We're going to be looking at what altcoins to get into and at what prices. So guys, let me know in the comments below what altcoins you want Sheldon, the sniper, and myself to cover on Friday. And we'll take a look at the comments and make sure to pick those and cover them for you guys on Friday. So without being any further ado, let's first start off with my horrible prediction over here. And let's just listen to this for a second. Now is that we're going to see this crash somewhere here around the in my opinion, somewhere around the $60,000 mark. And we're probably going to get about a 25% correction. Alts will correct even harder. So the question is so guys, in this, if you remember what I said, if you've been here on the channel for a while, it's good to have you guys. If you're new to the channel, what's up? Make sure you subscribe. Guys, like the video. I know that we're in a bad market, but keep a smile on your face, keep optimism, and let's get back into it. So in this video, if you guys remember, I did say that I believe that the Bitcoin market is going to have this big 25 to 30% correction on the day the ETF starts trading. So I was right about that, but what I was wrong about was the timing of when it was going to start trading. So we got ETF approval, and the next day it started trading, and bam, crash. And if you guys were relying on that, I am sorry for that. Now, this doesn't change at all my perspective. If you guys don't know, I've been in this space since 2012, and what has worked for me the best, and what I imagine working everybody the best, is I don't day trade, right? I'm not looking at these short-term price movements. For me, everything on a fundamental basis is still extremely bullish. Short-term, no, right? But are we here for short-term, or are we here for long-term? And so we're going to continue to give you guys good altcoin picks, because those are the things that are going to do the crazy X's when the markets recover. And fundamentally, we're going to understand this market extremely well. We're going to give you all kinds of narratives. And the most important thing for today is that let's sit and wait, because we don't know how much longer this selling is going to last. We don't know how much lower the markets can get. And while we could look at some of the great altcoins that we love that have already dipped 30, 40% and say, now is an amazing time to buy. And while I believe that statement to be incredibly true, in 6 months from now, anything that you buy right now is going to look amazing. The fact is that we just don't know how low this goes. We could still get another 10% pullback in Bitcoin, another 30, 40% in altcoins, which would make these extremely attractive. And again, opportunity and timing here is perfect. So in the meantime, figure out, we'll be covering things on this channel like upcoming narratives. Again, on Friday, best altcoins to buy and at what levels we can look at, the kind of best buying opportunities. Also, how to maximize opportunity here upcoming as well. So this is the season and the year of airdrops. There's a bunch coming up. There's one called Mine Network I want to talk to you guys about very, very soon when I do a Chainlink video. And let's get back to some of the things here to discuss about news. So you can see that we had the largest GBTC outflow to date yesterday. And if you guys aren't following me on X, go do that. I post all the alpha there at Kyle_Chasse. And we had $640 million in outflows yesterday from GBTC. But you can see here, ever since the beginning, so January 11th, we have total inflows, including we've got more inflows. And this is BitMEX research, which is actually great. I want to ask this question as well. I'm glad that they did the research here. How are the other ETFs doing in different countries? Because you have like Europe, Canada, Brazil, 6 European ETPs. So it's not just America, but essentially we're still a net positive. So this continues to say that there's more buying pressure than there is sell pressure from the ETFs anyway. And so we're going to talk about a couple other strategies here. But the fact of the matter is that people were expecting a black swan. Black swans typically happen like this, like within a day or hours, right? And then you usually have this kind of V-shaped recovery and then slow recovery. The question is that right now GBTC has enough Bitcoin to continue selling at the rate that they have been for the next 60 days. The question is that going to happen or not? So this is a very interesting piece of data here. FTX was responsible for almost $1 billion of the 2.6 billion that GBTC has sold so far. So over a third of it has been from FTX getting out. This is a big net positive so far, because if FTX is out, that would decrease the sell pressure potentially of GBTC moving forward if FTX is all out. I'm not sure if they're all out yet, but that was one of them. So interesting. Gert Van Lagen, he follows me. I'll follow back. Hello. So FTX sold 0.9 billion of GBTC holdings. Total GBTC outflow since approval is 2.6 billion. So 1/3 of sell pressure has now gone. Nonetheless, the net results of all ETFs together equates to 19,396 BTC. And that was of yesterday. Some of the data was not available from Fidelity and BlackRock, so that's even more. But here's another interesting school of thought. So the other 2/3 of GBTC pressure can be divided into 3 groups. Moving funds, ETFs with lower fees. So GBTC fee is 1.5%, which is 6 times higher than other ETFs. Fake sell pressure. So basically when we see these big transfers, if you look on like Looks on Chain or any other account that's tracking the flows from GBTC to Coinbase. So it can be rehypothecation of funds. And this is usually going to be based on non-US participants, people that don't have short-term capital gains, or people, because what's not going to happen is anybody that they're not going to sell from GBTC, because if you have short-term capital gains in the States, which is where most of these holdings happen, that tax is extremely higher than long-term capital gains. So maybe there are people moving funds from GBTC to another ETF, fake sell pressure. Profit taking, BTC, GBTC, this is what we talked about before, people who just got in for the trade. And then asset managers moving funds from GBTC to their own ETFs, like ARK, for instance, who sold from GBTC to buy the ARK ETF. Now, I have to sit here and wonder, like, the folks who made this trade, with the discount at 50%, they must be aware of what's going on, right? Like, and they were happy they made a trade, they're taking profits. But as we get back into the show, and you guys know if you've been watching the channel for a while, like the bullishness and the price discovery that's about to happen is going to be insane. So I'm just not convinced that there's going to continue to be extreme sell pressure over the next 60 days. But the most important thing right now is we just don't know. So for me right now, the best action is no action, observe, closely watch, and wait for the moment of re-entry. Again, when I'm trading, guys, with leverage, I'm only doing it with money that I'm gambling. It's like a casino for me. And I've done all my investing, and all my success in my career has come from long-term swing trades, essentially. Getting into undervalued tokens, participating in IDOs, paid ignition, or private sale investing, right? Which is all opportunities that I'm bringing to you guys through things like paid ignition and Commonwealth, or just watching this channel and subscribing for all of the alpha, because we've made some amazing calls on this channel. If you guys haven't been here with me for the past 6-8 months, you know that. One other thing too on my post, if I just scroll down a little bit further, a couple ones from Ran and Alex Becker. So wait, if 1 billion of the selling from GBTC was FTX liquidations as reported, that's 1/3 of total outflows. That changes the entire picture. That selling is now done. We could actually get a bounce now, and that could trigger a short squeeze. So this is the point that I want to make. So you might be asking yourself, like, Kyle, if we're going to continue to go lower and lower, and this purging is going to continue to happen, why not just exit everything and buy back in much cheaper? And that's a great question to ask, and I've asked myself the same question. The thing is that the bounce that we do have could be extreme. I mean, we could get like once GBTC stops liquidating, and we see all this inflows, and people decide, because it could come in an entire storm when everyone's like, wait, GBTC didn't sell today, and then a little bit of nervousness, and the next day they didn't sell again, and this is when we're going to start to see severe upside. So when BTC comes storming back, we could see 10-15% crazy candle to the upside, and altcoins pump 30 to 50% in 1 day or 2 days, and you don't want to be out of the market when this happens. So for me, I'm not selling, I'm not buying, I'm just sitting on the sidelines waiting. And Alex says, like, the ETF isn't a long-term sell the news event. A sell the news event is where you don't sell the news. You are fucked. I have a feeling everyone is selling now and panicking. Will be feeling fucked in 6 to 12 months. I think even 49,000 will look cheap. I agree with this completely. We have to zoom out, guys, and stop obsessing with short-term time horizons, in my opinion. That's just the way I like to do things. So another glooming cloud here is the Mt. Gox. So if you guys don't know, like, 10 years ago, there was a Mt. Gox hacked, and 600,000, or was it 865,000 Bitcoin or something were hacked, and a lot of them were lost forever. But there's 200,000 Bitcoin that still have been locked in this looming Japanese court case. And it looks like, from what I've seen so far and things like this right here, they're talking about they're gearing up for finally settling this thing. And the question is, I'm trying to understand, and let me know in the comments below if you guys know the answer to this. Is it going to be settled in Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash, or are they going to liquidate all these Bitcoin and then exchange or send out cash? To me, it seems like in this statement here, it seems like they're going to, if you want Bitcoin or Bitcoin Cash, they're just going to send you can send the wallet addresses and they're going to send it out to you. I'm trying to put my mind in the mindset of these guys who 10 years ago believed in Bitcoin and were trading it. And they've seen the price appreciate from like dollars to like $38,000 right now, where we are right now, right? Like, so if you've been in it that long, I mean, unless you really need cash, like, you're probably, you understand where the markets are at. You understand that we're on the brink of a massive bull run. A lot of people are very concerned about these 200,000 Bitcoin unlocking. It is a valid concern. Again, the best advice here is just to sit and wait and see what happens, right? So let's just quickly remind ourselves that on April 21st, hopefully, ironically, it's April 20th, the Bitcoin halving will happen. And just a couple more things to remind you guys that it is election year, right? And elections are heating up in the States. There's a lot of pressure on the Democrats to do stimulus. We have 4 anticipated rate cuts happening, which is very, very bullish. And we just see this stimulus package coming in from China right now of $278 billion because their stocks were crashing. And so they need to pump some stimulus in the market. We've seen stimulus over in Europe and other Asian countries as well. And guys, again, when we zoom out on the charts here, you can see that from the lows, we're still up 216%, and we haven't even reached the halving yet. So this is just a 21% pullback. It's nothing out of the ordinary. We've seen in many, many bull runs, like 7 or 8 between 20 to 40% pullbacks in the market on the way up to all-time highs. So as you can see here, guys, like, this is where we are right now. And this is why I remain always eternally optimistic. I understand, if you guys have been watching this channel for a while too, you understand the macro outlook of what's going on. And you can see here that every single time after the halving, we get this amazing rally up, and we're right there, guys. So I know that it can be very frustrating. I know that it can be nerve-wracking, but just hodl tight and relax. Remember what MicroStrategy did too. A lot of people were saying they were stupid when they were buying Bitcoin at $60,000, right? So they bought Bitcoin $60,000 here a few times. And as you can see right now, this is from a while back, but their average buy price was $29,000. And that's dollar cost averaging over time. You can never know when the top or bottom are going to be in. So it's better approach. Dollar cost averaging, as you can see from this green dotted line here, is the average purchase price, total dollar cost average, right? So as you can see, dollar cost averaging is much, much better than trying to time the bottom or the top. And guys, let me know what you'd like to see here. I think that we're going to be in a boring sideways market for a while, but you never know. That's why we need to tune in daily. That's why our research team is daily keeping an eye on this for you guys, so you don't have to. And I will catch you guys on the next one tomorrow. Bye-bye.